तिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलौ कल्मषनाशाय जानवापते नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are discussing from chapter 2, Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, and verse number verse number 40. We were discussing on this verse. नेहा विक्रमो नास्वस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमपि यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. So, in this endeavor of Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga, Krishna is introducing. So, he is telling if one just execute it, even little bit, so there is no loss. Rather, he can be relieved from all kinds of this most dangerous type of fear. So, I think we completed this verse. Now, next, after after instructing the importance of Bhakti Yoga or the glories of Bhakti Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, the quality of Buddhi Yoga, Lord Krishna, in this particular verse, verse number 41, he is going to tell us uh, who is qualified or eligible for performing this Buddhi Yoga in true sense. Actually, who can uh, perfectly perform this Buddhi Yoga? What is required? So I think we started this verse also. Yeah, 2.41. We already discussed a little bit about this. व्यवसायत्मिका बुद्धि व्यवसायत्मिका बुद्धि एकेह कुरुनंदना बहुशाखा हि अनंताश्च बुद्धयो अव्यवसायिनाम्. So those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So who is the person who can perfectly execute this most powerful form of yoga known as Buddhi Yoga? So that is being mentioned here. So the first and foremost qualification which must be there in somebody who can become fixed up in the discharge of devotional service of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga to the Supreme Lord, and that is Vyavsayatmika Buddhi. Vyavsayatmika Buddhi. His Buddhi or intelligence should be like Vyavsayatmika. So Srila Prabhupada is translating Vyavsayatmika means resolute in Krishna consciousness or one who is completely fixed up in Krishna consciousness. So how this has come? The word Vyavsaya, what is the meaning of the word Vyavsaya? Vyavsaya means ascertained, Vyavsaya means understanding, Vyavsaya means by a conclusion. So one who is ascertained or one who is fixed up in in uh, in the instructions of Krishna. That is Vyavasayatmika. Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi Yoga means following the path uh, uh, given by Supreme Lord, following the instructions of the Supreme Lord. So Vyavasayatmika means one who has fixed up himself in the instructions of Krishna. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. That means he has no other goal, or he is not distracted or deviated with anything else, any other thought or any other uh, this philosophy or conclusions. One who has accepted Krishna's instructions as the foremost conclusions or philosophies in the world, and hence he is not distracted by so many other philosophers, opinions of other so-called great personalities. So, in very simple words, we can say one who has accepted Krishna to be the foremost philosopher, Krishna to be the greatest of all the authorities, and Krishna's opinion to be the topmost opinion with which to live in this world. That is the meaning of Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. That means if anybody in this world or in this universe uh, comes and speaks or instructs against the instructions of the Supreme Lord, so that the person or the devotee should immediately reject that. If one is able to do that, that means he is Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, his intelligence is resolute or fixed up in Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna says that one should fully surrender unto him alone. One should develop pure love for him alone. And one should always think of him, always serve him, always worship him, and always accept him as the supreme spiritual master, supreme authority, supreme personality of Godhead, supreme master, and nobody else. So this is what Krishna instructs in Bhagavad Gita, and this is what he demands in Bhagavad Gita. So if anybody in this world comes, he may be anyone, our very closest relatives, friends, or the greatest of the politicians, so-called greatest personalities, even so-called great swamis, sadhus, or anybody, or even demigods, great demigods also may come and tell us that no, instead of thinking of Krishna, you think of somebody else. Instead of surrendering to Krishna, you surrender to somebody else. Instead of fully accepting Krishna as yours, you accept somebody else as also yours. So if we are if we are able to immediately reject such proposals, that is a state of having our intelligence fixed up in Krishna consciousness. That is Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So that's why Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Ekeha Kurunandana. Only one in this world, O beloved child of the Kurus. So those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. Ekeha Kurunandana. Their aim is one. And what is that one aim? That one aim is Krishna. Their their life's goal becomes Krishna, and they think about Krishna, they work for Krishna, they eat for Krishna, uh, and they think, the intelligence, they work, they sacrifice everything, whatever they do it for Krishna. That is the meaning of Ekeha Kurunanda. Apart from Krishna conscious activities, they have nothing to do. If Krishna likes, they can perform. If Krishna likes, or if Krishna demands, or if it is conducive for progress in Krishna consciousness, so such a person can accept any so-called unfavorable situation also, and reject the so-called very affectionate these attachments or affectionate relatives and friends, and so-called favorable situations to live in comfort zone. So that is the state of a person. who is situated in Vyapsayatmika Buddhi, Ekiha Kurunandan. So, because their aim is one, and that is to satisfy Krishna. That is their aim. But on the other hand, Bahusakha hi anantasya buddhayo avyavasayinam. But those who are not in Krishna consciousness, O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. That means those who are not in Krishna consciousness. So their intelligence has many branches. Bahusakha means many branches. Anantasya, unlimited branches. That means sometimes they will plan to get something. Sometime they will change the plan and do something else to get some other thing. So in this way, their intelligence is multiple branches. The intelligence has, and in this way they cannot remain fixed up in doing one thing. So that is the case with the website now. So that's why Krishna is telling the symptom of those who is eligible to execute this Buddhi Yoga principle. Srila Prabhupada writes in purport, a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyapsayatmika intelligence. This is the definition of Vyapsayatmika intelligence, that one who has firm faith that simply by surrendering fully to Krishna, one can achieve the highest perfection of life. That means one who can accept Krishna only as his topmost object of worship, and that is what is Krishna consciousness. So one who is having strong faith that if I become fully Krishna conscious, if I accept fully Krishna's instructions in the Bhagavad Gita, then definitely I will be elevated to the highest perfection of life. And what is that highest perfection of life? The highest perfection of life is to, first of all, realize oneself to be completely different from this material body and understand that I am a spirit soul, and then to get situated in the activities of the spirit soul, being a eternal servant of Supreme Lord Krishna. So that is the highest perfectional state of life. Uh, that is also explained in Bhagavatam. Mukti hitvanyatha rupam swarupena avasthiti. That is the state of mukti or param siddhi, highest perfection, to get engaged in the service of Supreme Lord Krishna. So that is the strong faith. This is called Vyapsayatmika intelligence or buddhi, which Krishna is telling in this verse. Vyapsayatmika buddhi ekiha kuru nandana. And such kind of people who have Vyapsayatmika buddhi or intelligence, they are the perfect candidate who can execute Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga in true sense or perfectly, and thus derive the full benefit of being situated in Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. So regarding this strong faith of Vyapsayatmika Buddhi, which is also known as Shraddha, Chaitanya Charitamrita states like this: Shraddha sabde viswas kahe sudrida nishay, Krishna bhakti kaile sarva karma krita hai. That is the meaning of Shraddha. Shraddha sabde viswas kahe sudrida nishay. So Shraddha means one who has sudrida nishay, full faith, strong faith, or a strong belief that if I simply execute Krishna Bhakti, if I simply engage myself fully in the service of Supreme Lord Krishna, then all other karma, sarva karma kritahai, all other karma are automatically done. I need not to do anything else. That means the results of performing all the karma, all the activities, whether material or spiritual, I can simply get it if I engage myself in the service of Krishna. And if somebody who has a strong faith regarding this, that is the meaning of having Shraddha. and that is the state of a person who is fully situated in Vyapsayatmika intelligence. So faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. That is the meaning of faith. Faith doesn't mean blind faith, blind following. Blind following is something different. But if somebody who has understood through logic, reasoning, and proper references, scriptural references, that this Krishna consciousness, service to Krishna, surrendering to Krishna is a sublime thing. It's not just something, some cheap thing or some bogus thing. No, it's sublime. Sublime means worthy to accept. It's very completely worthy to accept by everyone, including great, great demigods also. That is the sublimity of Krishna consciousness. So, so having unflinching trust in something sublime. So Krishna consciousness is sublime activity. So one who has unflinching trust. Unflinching means his trust is not deviated by any kind of opponents, any kind of these agents of Maya. Neither the desires for sense gratification, allurements given by Maya, temptations given by Maya can distract a person from Krishna consciousness activities, nor the so-called great, great philosophers and philosophy, their philosophies can distract the person's trust or faith in Krishna consciousness. That is the meaning of unflinching trust in something sublime. So when one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. So one who is engaged in duties of Krishna consciousness, or in simple words, one who is engaged in performing activities in a Krishna conscious manner, then he becomes free from the dualities of doing good or bad activities. And he all his activities are situated in transcendental platform, and he becomes free from material conception of life. That is the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness. That one is completely detached from material conception of life. Material conception means that one is eager to have uh, this good results, materially good results, which leads to sense gratification, which leads to comfort in life. So when one becomes detached from this, so then he is said to be acting on Krishna conscious platform, and that is highest perfection of Krishna consciousness. So this state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. As one progresses in his Krishna consciousness, that means as one goes on developing attachment or affection for Krishna, then this state of Satmika Buddhi, where one develops unflinching trust in activities of Krishna consciousness, this is automatically achieved. One does not need to endeavor separately to become detached from material activities, material sense gratification activities, or to achieve this platform of liberation. So this separately, a Krishna conscious person does not require to do it. That's why our focus should be how to mold our life in such a way that almost 24 hours we can remain the Krishna conscious, or we can remain thinking about the Supreme Lord, Krishna, in all our activities. When we are walking, we should be thinking of Krishna. When we are drinking, when we are eating, when we are sleeping, when we are talking, when we are doing any material activities also. If we can situate ourselves that we do not forget the presence or the connection of Supreme Lord in our life, then that state is known as Krishna conscious state. And one who is situated in such a Krishna conscious stage, so then he automatically becomes free from the activities of sense gratification. He is automatically becomes free from material conception of life. So no more this desires for sense gratification can disturb such a person. Immediately he becomes alarmed, and he immediately um, takes himself away from any chances of getting engaged in the business of sense gratification, which may lead one to forget the presence of Krishna. So I hope you are able to understand. These things are very, very important actually, but I know these are somewhat it is becoming technical. But if you hear very attentively, then you can understand each and every word which Srila Prabhupada is writing in his purport. It's very, very important, and we are trying our best to explain it. So, but you must hear it attentively. Then you can catch it. You have to match your frequency with the discussion which is going on. Otherwise, if frequency is unmatched, you cannot connect. Just like so many electromagnetic waves are there. But when you dial contact of a person, so when you are talking, so only you are talking with the person whom contact number you have dialed. Nobody else can talk and participate in the discussion. Although in the open space, the electromagnetic waves are openly transferred. Uh, this what we talk on phone with somebody who is situated far distance from us. It's nothing but this receiving of electromagnetic waves. When we speak, so our speech, the sound vibration is converted into electromagnetic waves, and this is transferred through this space, and the second person who is hearing, he receives those particular electromagnetic waves, and then again through his device, those electromagnetic waves are converted back to the sound, and he hears. Uh, So this transaction is taking place with the help of electromagnetic waves, but only these two devices can send and receive, and others cannot receive or send. Why? Because through the contact numbers, certain frequencies are matched, and when frequency is matched, the two persons can reciprocate. Similarly, this discussion on spiritual subject matters. It can only be conceived or received or properly understood when the frequency is matched between the audience and the speaker. So I don't know how many of you have the frequency matched with the discussion which we are doing. Yes, can you please raise your hand? How many of you have the frequency matching with only one or two? Okay, that's why you need to hear very attentively. Then you can get this. Anyway, we'll go ahead. Okay, it's a big purport. We'll discuss something, one more paragraph. and then we'll discuss something more tomorrow. So the resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. So resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness mean one who is fixed up in Krishna consciousness. So that is not because of some sentiment, material sentiment. Of course, there are sentiments, spiritual sentiments, which is known as bhava or pure affection, attachment for Krishna. But it is based on sound philosophical or spiritual knowledge. And what is that knowledge? Vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. A person in Krishna consciousness is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudev or Krishna is the root of all manifested cause. This is the sound knowledge. So don't just think that if we are, if we say, or our acharyas say, that we should think of Krishna all the time while walking, while speaking, eating, doing any material activities. We should mold our life in such a way that we remain connected to Krishna. It's not just a this material sentimental thing. Uh, it's a fact uh, that to fully surrender to Krishna alone is a fact because Krishna alone is the personality who manifests himself in all sphere of our life. All the activities in all sphere of our life is fully dependent upon mercy of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Nothing we do, act or think or desire which is independent of Krishna's sanction, Krishna's help and support. Nothing. Just like a small child who has taken birth. So he is fully dependent upon his mother for eating, sleeping, or anything, everything. So that is why the child is supposed to develop full attachment for mother only. That means he cannot reject the service to his mother, parents. Similarly, Krishna being the supreme father and mother, and even more merciful, and Krishna is such a father, such a kind father and mother, without whose help and support we cannot even live for a single moment. We can't do anything in our life. The heartbeat, every single moment, our heart is beating, because of which this energy is supplied throughout the body. So that heart beating is done by the mercy or sanction of Krishna. This is the fact. Uh, when we are breathing, so each and every breath is sanctioned by Krishna. That is a gift given to us by Him. Whatever we speak, think, plan, whatever knowledge we have, whatever memories we have, remembrance we have, that is all sanctioned by Him alone. He is sitting within the heart as Paramatma, Super Soul. She does everything. He sanctions everything. He supports us in all aspect of our life. That's why every single moment we are living at the cost of mercy of Supreme Lord Krishna. That's why this becomes our foremost duty, uh, that we always remember him and always develop full love and attachment for him alone. Nobody else is as qualified as Supreme Lord Krishna, who can be the greatest object of our love and devotion and worship, our service. 10% our activities, services, love, devotion, attachment, affection, care, uh, attention, consciousness, focus should be, must be uh, directed towards the Supreme Lord Krishna alone, nobody else. This is a fact. It may sound um, very, what you say, strange, or somebody may think, oh, what is this? this is too much, but it's not too much. Even if you remember or serve or love Krishna 24 hours by 7, still it is less. So that is what the meaning of Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Krishna is everything. And one who understands this, Samahatma Sudurlabha. Such a person is very, very rare to be seen, very, very rare to find out. Such a person who can understand that every moment can have this realization. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. So this is the fact. That's why this example is given. As you water the root of the tree, then everything else is satisfied. Similarly, if we just dovetail our consciousness, if we just give our full love and attachment, affection, love for Krishna alone, then Krishna will be satisfied, and through him, everyone else will become satisfied and will become satisfied. So, this is what we understood from this discussion. And tomorrow we'll discuss something more, that how can Krishna be satisfied through a spiritual master, through pure devotee. And that is what's the meaning of Vyapsyatmika Buddhi is. That's why Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states, when a disciple, when a devotee accepts the instructions of his spiritual master as his life and soul, that is the state of Vyapsyatmika Buddhi, a soul fully surrendered to Krishna. That is the state. Okay, so we stop here. We have only 2 minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask. Hare Krishna.
मैं सुनती हूँ कथा, लेकिन 7:30 के बाद फिर मैं मैच चालू रखती हूँ, तो अपराध लग जाएगा?
मैच चालू कर सकते हैं, बट योर ईयर्स एंड हार्ट शुड बी in hearing about Krishna consciousness, Krishna.
तो थोड़ा बहुत ध्यान तो जाएगा मैच में।
Okay, that's your job. It's okay. You can manage.